over half.
Yeah, it's 51%.
Yeah.
women, so
Like,
over-
and
The majority of single-parent households are probably women, I would assume.
Yeah.
So
And I don't
children-
remember the statistics on pay, but it's way less too.
$70, I think. In
Yeah.
America, they say 70 cents to the dollar. Yeah, I'm not sure about homosexuals, though. That's
I can tie it to the sexuality with women, but I don't, it's harder for sexuality.
in
Well,
Greek
surely
society.
capitalism didn't create sexism.
Might have contributed, though.
It could have, I don't know if it created sexism, but I could see it fanning the flames on a lot of it, kind of creating even more of that disparity.
Well, and yeah, I'm gonna go on that, I hadn't thought of it, but women weren't allowed to have an education way back when. So the guys got to go to school, and of course they're gonna come up with better ideas and be able to start businesses and make money, because we weren't allowed to be educated. So if you wanna make money because you're in a capitalist government, and so you wanna go get this education, you wanna start a little business, be a shoemaker or whatever, and the women don't even have that option. So,
And there's no birth control.
yeah, and we just keep popping out kids because you have sex and then that's what happens.
Really?
And like, so it's like, of course we, I feel like,
Yeah,
yeah, capitalism is a huge part of it.
I think it also, I remember in the women's studies class, it was, we read the Feminine and Masculine Mystiques, and it is that capitalist perpetuation of men have this specific role that society has dictated on them, and that's that capitalist society, and women also have that same kind of idea, or ideal that they really want to attain, that it's this single, that this mom that's the housewife that always does this, and it kind of, it's that societal creation of
Yeah, because what I'm thinking is in part, we think of women's equality as women's equal access to be a capitalist plunder. In other words, we don't think that, for example, I mean, and it's really interesting that you all, when you're thinking of, okay, what really counts in life, if we want to redefine success and say it's not just whoever accumulates the most wealth or capital. And you all went to family, which I would certainly agree with, is, the most, and work. Maybe Freud was right here, work and love. You need to do something productive and creative that allows you to see yourself in the world, and you need love around you, and that usually comes with family. But we didn't quite get to the point of, and we can't go here in this class, I mean, it's another whole class. But are there any essential differences between maleness and femaleness that, might have something to do with relations, the natural division of labor, the role, the relationship, it's the reproductive process. But if it's natural, but I guess I'm going in two directions here, I know. On the one hand, we don't think about human happiness as something that may be redefined by femininity. In other words, but that femininity would have to be, in a Marxist sense, understood historically, right? As a historical product. That, 100, 150 years ago, if there wasn't birth control and there wasn't women's access to higher education, women were pretty well stuck churning out babies, pumping out baby after baby, and the medical care wasn't at the point where infant health care would save babies, at least from the middle class. So, you needed enough babies because half of them were going to die of some kind of childhood disease or something. And yet, if from the Marxist perspective, our very experience of being in a female body, which we might say is a natural experience, whether you're born with male equipment or female equipment, is historically constructed. Also, I keep coming back to Jose because he's the one that brought this up weeks and weeks ago about his things about construction. In other words, our material experiences of being sexual are determined historically. Does that make sense? That it goes that deep. The fact that,
bulb.
say what?
I had a bit of a light bulb. I was thinking, something I hear from, feminists, they say that they don't want to be considered like property too, and I wonder if that was part of it too. I mean, women were being considered more like property than like people.
Definitely.
It's sort of like an economic thing too.
Same goes for children as well.
Mhm.
Yeah. But I think to touch on the nature of like homosexuality and whether it would be accepted, I feel this might stir up some waves, but if we're all equal and there's no need for the family, there's no need for the typical male-female relationship. Thus, the whole populace becomes bisexual.
That's pretty good. And, I mean, just following this where it goes, it's like all of the structures that we depend on are up for grabs in this. Because for Marx, and I couldn't find, I don't want to take up time leafing through this, although I could, I guess. I know it's in the Communist Manifesto, where, basically what he's saying is that you bourgeois make such a big deal of the family, the bourgeois family, and you accuse us communists. You can go through and find this. It's in one of the first two sections of the Communist Manifesto. You accuse us communists of destroying the family. And, then he says, what family? You make it impossible for most of the members of the proletariat even to have a family life. You think of your wives as your property and your children as your property. They're all just a part of maintaining your wealth. You marry off your kids to the right class so that you can keep wealth in the family name. And then, he even adds, and you bourgeois show no hesitation about seducing working class women and the wives of working class men. In other words, and you sexually harass everybody and rape everybody that you have power over too. So essentially what he's saying is, even the family structure, and we know that Marx was a very sentimental, kind of romantic family man. He's saying it's all about keeping property in individual family names. So, I think, Eric, it's provocative, but I think it's on the right track, which is, if you don't think of the quote bourgeois or nuclear family as we really mean it, as property, but rather as maybe it's like hunting in the morning and fishing in the afternoon. That you're together with somebody and you have children and you raise the children, and now we go, oh my God, and then they want a divorce. Well, I think the divorce rate is skyrocketing, not only because we think of people as property, but because we're living twice as long as we used to. So, I mean,
Sick of it.
you outgrow people.
Well, and also because marriage is not, or not anymore, at least so much in the U.S., economic capitalist point, but we came up with this idea of love, and instead of it being economically sound, and now we have a lot more divorce, and as you said, we depend less on the family that we used to.
And actually, that's a really nice point, Jose, because what we look at as a problem, we send psychologists after us. Like, oh my God, they're getting divorced, when in fact, maybe if we didn't have this notion that there was one person for you, and you meet them miraculously when you're in your 20s, and
Our entire world is happening.
Yes, right. And then you stay with them for the next 50 or 60 years until you both drop dead. It's a romantic notion that maybe if we really look at historical construction, we see that, and it's not a mandate that you must live this way or there's something wrong with you. You hook up, you fall in love, you connect with somebody, and if you outgrow it and the children are safe, you move on. Kind of like property or professions. It's not something that you have to hold forever. I'm not sure. I'm kind of talking against my own romanticism here, but you maybe get the idea also why communists are so threatening, because I mean, they just challenge everything that, you know, we think we need to be human. Where, you know.
That sounds like good concluding statement.
I feel
Yeah.
exhausted.
Yeah, no, this is, I tell you what, here's, I don't wanna be, I think you should decide what you wanna do about grades. There are a few people who aren't here. And, that, you know, so,
Yeah.
how communist are you? You know, and.
We just choose their grades for them.
Maybe they're planning on writing.
Yeah, that, because we left it an option, like if you didn't wanna come,
Yeah.
you could turn something,
And we said if you didn't wanna
something in.
then you pretty much do.
That's why I just had a sheet go around so we
Good,
know. who's
okay,
there.
and I also said that I would read anything anybody writes and give you feedback on whether, you know, what I think, whether you missing something or getting it right or something, you know, I mean, without giving a grade. And for the rest, you know, if the A's are capital,